Okay, so let's pick right back up to where you were.
Well, basically, at my age, the diet, the Atkins diet, really didn't work for me. It worked for a short period of time, and then I started to gain the weight back. So in 2007, I did some research. My father had passed away from Alzheimer's. So I began to do some more research on what I could do, maybe because my mother was getting older and I didn't want to have her go through the same issues. So I read more about something that's called a ketogenic diet, what they actually use for treating epilepsy, and the type of foods that you eat can reduce the risks of getting Alzheimer's. Matter of fact, they also use it to reverse Alzheimer's.
Interesting.
So in about 2007, I began doing the ketogenic diet, which is more or less nutritional ketosis, and I've been doing that ever since. And in the first 8 months, I lost 100 pounds. So all of that weight that I had put on when I first came to Vegas, I lost that. And right now it could be +5 or -5. I can go up slightly and go down, but I'm basically staying at the same weight for almost 10 years.
And that's based on this diet that you give me the name of it again?
It's called a ketogenic diet.
A ketogenic diet.
Right. It's more or less. It's more or less a way of life. It's not necessarily a diet, so it's more of a nutritional, nutritional ketosis.
Awesome. Okay, so tell us all about that. I'll bet there's so many people out there who are interested in hearing. So many people who have parents who are either who have had issues with seizures, or parents who are on the brink of or actually have Alzheimer's and that sort of thing, or dementia. So, and I know dementia falls in another category, so let's just speak about Alzheimer's and
so, I could just talk about the diet, or I can say some of the reasons to use the diet. You have two forms of fuel in your body. You can burn sugar or glucose, which is basically the same, or you can burn fat and what's called ketones. The ketones are created in the liver from the excessive fat that you consume. So your body originally, when you were born and you were a little baby and you were drinking breast milk and so on, breast milk had a higher fat content than it did for sugar content, and the protein was more moderate. So that was a great drink for you, and probably the best drink that you could have to have your brain grow and your body grow and you become healthy. So to get more to that point is really what your body needs, something at that point. But throughout your age and your sex, it depends on how much your protein is all determined on your goals. If you're more active, if you need to be stronger, you can go out, people do a lot of exercise, like Arnold Schwarzenegger and so on, then people have more protein. But as you get older, the more sugar you consume and the more carbs and the more protein, you're actually going to create more growth in your body. When I say that, there's other things that are created, including cancer. So you want to slow down the growth process and trigger what's called repair. So you want to put your body into something like almost a starvation. It's not really starving, but it's almost like a premature famine, or a famine where your body has the strength to make you through what you need to do to recover, for your body to go into repair mode instead of growing. So anyway, to be able to, when you consume the right amount of protein and a lower amount of carbs, you consume more fat to be more satisfied. Basically, instead of eating 3, 4, 5 meals a day, you decide how much protein you need, you have a lower amount of carbohydrates, and then you increase the good fats, healthy fats, in order to keep you more satisfied, so you're not eating. I eat 3 meals a day, but I could go 2. Sometimes I can go 1 because I'm not really hungry.
So it's the fats that
change the fat. See, carbohydrates trigger insulin, and high insulin is really mostly the reason for many of the man-made diseases, including they even say cancer and so many big.
Diabetes, of course.
Yeah, it used to be called sugar diabetes. Now they just call it diabetes. But metabolic syndrome is a high insulin. So you want to keep the insulin low in your body. By doing that, you can either fast, meaning you don't eat, because when you eat anything, even even protein will raise insulin slightly, but if you don't eat anything, you will actually raise what's called ketones, and your body will use the ketones for energy. Well, you can mimic that by reducing the protein and carbs and increasing the fat, so your body has less nutrients and actually thinks there's a famine and will put your body more into repair. But you have to have enough fat to be satisfied, otherwise you'll eat a meal and say, oh my God, I'm still hungry. So I'll just give you an analogy.
I was going to say, yeah, what would be
I'll give you an analogy. Let's say that you have a salad for lunch, and you have, I don't know, a piece of bread and whatever you normally eat, or a cup of fruit or something like that. Maybe 2 hours or later, you're a little bit hungry, okay? But I'm just giving you an analogy here. If you had a stick of butter, let's say you had a third a stick of butter, how hungry would you be?
Well,
but I don't really.
right.
But I'm not saying I really sit there and eat a stick of butter.
Well,
it's just
well, popcorn. Let's look
Right.
at all the butter that's on popcorn, and after the popcorn is filling by itself as well.
Right, but
that
the
butter
popcorn
really
is very high in carbs, so that's the other thing.
Yeah.
So the problem is you can eat a lot of fat, but if you eat a lot of carbs also, you have fat and carbs together, you're going to run your risk of other diseases because that fat will be stored. See, when you do excessive carbohydrates, it gets stored as fat anyway. Most people don't know what insulin does. So if you have high insulin in your body, if you don't exercise off all that sugar that you just ate, that insulin is going to try to store that as fat. So there's really no such thing as a low-fat, high-carb diet because it's stored as saturated fat, and your body stores saturated fat for fuel later, because it later will turn that into glucose.
So for the audience out there, because we're going to have you back on again, and we're going to actually put the food out there and give an idea of what would be the best meals, but just as an overall picture, what would be, for instance, a typical meal in one day for breakfast, lunch, and
well, everybody
dinner?
varies. I'm a health coach, so I would talk to the people individually and not say this diet is you.
Awesome.
I don't say what I eat generally is what you should eat.
Awesome.
It all depends on where you are in life and your goals. Because if you might have diabetes, you might have some other
Awesome.
illness.
Do
So
you help people plan their meals according to their BMI, their body mass index, their makeup, their desires, their lifestyle? Do you help?
basically lifestyle, not necessarily BMI, because that's just a measurement that it was created for risk purposes and so on. It's basically to get the person healthy, the weight loss will come along with it. So the person has to feel healthy mentally and physically, and the weight will begin to come down. But based on where they are in life and what their goals are, that will determine what their diet would be. I'm not going to say you need to eat this, you need to eat this. Some people
That's
are more
great.
like a vegetarian like you, but if you increased your fat a little bit more, the good fats, even in avocado or on your salad, you added olive oil and other things that you did, you might eat less and you might feel more healthy. But you also need more omega-3 fats, because first of all, your body consists of fats, protein, and water with fluids and electrolytes. You don't consist of strawberries. So there really isn't any need for carbohydrates. Your body can turn the fats and protein into carbohydrates.
So what it sounds like from listening to you is, first of all, helping to educate your clients
That's basically
on nutrition alone.
That's my job. So I'm not going to say you eat this, you eat this. I will give everybody the knowledge and find out where they are in life, what you want to do. You want to become healthy even at a later age. Like I said, I'm 57 and I do a lot of different things. My mother's 87 and she's not on any medication. She's been doing the diet now since she was 80. So she's really doing well. So it's where you want to be. If you want to be medically challenged and have to see a doctor and be on medication for the rest of your life as you become a senior, you can make that choice. But most people would choose to be healthy and not on medication. You could do anything that you want to do to make yourself healthy, or you can be part of the system and end up taking medication.
Absolutely. See, and as you can see, this is a conversation that
It could last for days.
Yeah,
yes.
because
and I won't have to eat during those days.
yeah, and there's just so much more to go into. So what we're going to do is basically give your information to those out there who are interested in changing your lifestyle, because this gentleman, as you can tell, is very, very knowledgeable about health and wellness, but most importantly, nutrition and the types of food that you eat and what you need according to your own personal desires, needs, makeup, goals,
Correct.
all of that. So, Tim, how about giving them a number and perhaps an email address where they can
So
call?
my phone number is 702-886-1230. That's a local Las Vegas number. And then my email is try.health.coach@gmail.com. try.health.coach@gmail.com.
All right, and what we're going to do is continue to bring you on again as we go forward, in the summer months, and because this is so involved, health and wellness is so involved, nutrition is so involved, and it actually becomes fun, in my opinion. Perhaps you and I just have a similar makeup where we enjoy learning about nutrition, but
Can I say one additional thing?
Yeah, sure.
Basically, what I was talking about, the difference with burning fat and sugar, your brain can do really well on what's called ketones, or burn ketones. If you're burning glucose and you have issues in your mind, which is part of Alzheimer's and epilepsy, your mind will begin to function a lot less. You'll lose memories and things like that. But if you begin to burn ketones, your mind works much better and much stronger.
amazing. And where do you get and so how do you, what types of
From
foods?
the higher
higher fats.
fat, right, and reducing the carbs. Not just high
Amazing.
fat, you'll begin to burn ketones. There's a drink that you can do, or something called MCT oil and so on.
Oh, we have
you
to
can,
talk.
You can consume that, and it goes to ketones right away. So your brain works on all cylinders, because if you have too much insulin, your brain also becomes insulin resistant. So your brain begins to not have the energy. The cells will not take in the energy in order for that to function, but they'll be able to run just fine on ketones.
Wow. See, and that's just one subject.
Oh,
and how many
exactly.
people out there need, how about if I put my hand up, how many people out there need help with clarity and getting rid of the fogginess? And and it is lifestyle, I will have to say. And as you get older, these things naturally become somewhat challenging, but depending on your lifestyle, it doesn't have to be challenging at all. So
Right.
really exciting stuff, everybody. Make sure you give this man a call, Tim, the certified health coach. And one more time with your number.
702-886-1230, and try.health.coach@gmail.com.
Everybody, give him a call. Give him a shout out. He's a Chicago homeboy. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming on, Tim.
All right,
We'll look
thank
forward
you.
to seeing you back next month. All right, everybody, sit back, relax, and we are approaching we're into May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. In just a little while, it'll be like mid-May, and then Memorial Day. So we're going to continue with our series from a very interesting trooper, a soldier, an author, a gentleman who has just got so much going on. It's amazing. Sit back, relax, and we'll be right back. I am your host, Lady Linda, and you are watching Variety Talk live in Las Vegas. We'll be right back.